For most, the Doom experience is traditionally undertaken in somewhat of a solitary role. It's Doom Guy against the Horde, an endless, vengeful crusade against the myriad demons that dare trespass on this here mortal plane. In fact, the venues for such righteous violence are practically endless, thanks to a horde in their own right of talented modders and mappers churning out ever more creative places in which to do battle. That said, even a seasoned Doom enjoyer such as myself can occasionally find something lacking, feel the need for something more. Maybe someone to fight alongside in this ceaseless, blood-stained churn. What I'm trying to say here is, what if Doom Guy had friends? Hey there, Icarus here, and welcome to yet another edition of Doom Mod Madness, this time focusing on companion mods, something that I'll freely admit that I wasn't all that deep into until fairly recently. In fact, the mod that brought me more into the fold and made me want to explore this a little deeper was this mod, that being the Daisy companion mod. Now, you might notice that there's something a little different about Daisy here. It doesn't look like your traditional bun, and for the purposes of my own immersion, I'm choosing to believe some strange teleporter accident transformed Daisy into a bunny girl variant that is now fully armored, fully armed, and can kick a demon's head clean off. Now, I know, there's probably a fair few of you out there that are gonna cry sacrilege. How dare this be anything other than a crude JPEG of a rabbit with a shotgun glued to it? But you know what, in this case, I'll make an exception. Because, look it, she's thumping because she's impatient. It's certainly worth mentioning, though, that Daisy is more than just a cute companion. She can also provide a few support functions, chiefly supplying you with a little bit of extra ammo and maybe a little bit of extra health every now and again. You've also got a choice in how mortal you want Daisy to be, because this mod comes in two variants, one invincible, the other killable. And the big thing about the killable version of Daisy is that she is also susceptible to friendly fire, so having the ability to tell her to stay put certainly becomes much more useful here. But say things do go catastrophically wrong and you find yourself somewhat negligent in your Daisy protection efforts, well, fear not, you do have a chance to revive her. It does take a little while, so you will be fighting solo while she patches herself up, but if you do in fact take too long, she will, quite tragically, kick the bucket. Now, you might expect that that's the end for Daisy. She's not going to come back, you're going to have to run the rest of the level, or even the rest of the map set solo. Well, that's where you'd be surprised, because the Daisy Companion mod features not one, but in fact two unique death states. The one that I'll show you here involves her basically haunting you as a protective ghost. She's able to phase in and out, and still assist in making demons go bye-bye. Even better news, if you successfully complete the map with Daisy in this state, you'll find she'll be back right as rain in corporeal form, ready for the next map. As for that other unique death state, you know what, I'm gonna leave it for you guys to find out, because we've gotta move on to the next companion. Yep, that's right. Long before Daisy got into the fight, we had Isabelle. Product of the glorious happenstance that was Doom releasing around the same time as Animal Crossing, Isabelle very much brings her A game. She comes equipped with a veritable arsenal of offensive options, ranging from the double-barreled shotgun, the giant comedy hammer, the party popper, and should enemies be slightly too far away to bonk over the head, a fishing hook with which to reel them in. Oh, crockery. I don't want to forget the crockery. She'll just straight up yeet a pot at a demon's head. It's brutal. You'll be happy to know that support functions also come as standard. Health and ammo supplied whenever they damn well feel like it. And in terms of modes, you can have a follow, stay put, or a follow without really doing anything mode. I guess if you just want to be happy that she's hanging out with you. Unlike Daisy, Isabelle is functionally immortal. She can't be bargained with, she can't be reasoned with, and she absolutely will not stop ever until all the demons are dead. Well, that is unless you tell her to stay put. Woe betide any player that has the poor fortune to die within eyeshot of this pure, innocent soul, however, because do you want to break Isabelle's heart? Do you want to drive this sweet doggo to drink? You see what you've done. Are you happy with yourself? It's heartbreaking, that's what it is. But you know what, you can fix it with a dirty resurrect, it's fine. She chucks the bottle, she gets on killing, we're all good. You know who doesn't do that? Daisy. She gets stuck in a depressive cycle. I've tried everything, she doesn't shake it off. You gotta get back in the game, Daisy. Isabelle here is quite honestly hogging all the glory. You want a high five? There's your high five. Let's get back to business. I've always had the feeling that Doom Guy would probably get along pretty well with the likes of Duke Nukem. I mean, sure, one is the strong, silent type, and the other is a bona fide one-liner machine, but regardless, their attitude to external threats seems to be pretty effectively aligned. I mean, one specializes in demons, one in aliens, but hey, tomato tomato. Now, if you were hoping for some support actions akin to Isabelle or Daisy here, you'll find that that's not really Duke's style. Instead, what he brings to the table is pretty much his entire weapons locker. Happily, this also includes the Shrink Ray and the Freeze Thrower, each inflicting the appropriate effects on even Doom enemies, allowing you to squish them underfoot or shatter them once frozen. But hey, you know what's better than just bringing one 3D Realms legend along for the ride? How about 3 of them? That's right, you can stack these. You can bring Duke, you can bring Caleb, you can bring Wang. Much like Duke, they come replete with practically their entire arsenals, and most of their one-liners. But if I had to pick one of my favorite attributes, it would be whenever Wang decides to drop the nuke. Naturally, bringing the entire gang along like this tends to tip the scales in your favor, so it'll be no surprise for me to say that this is usually best enjoyed with as many enemies as possible. Slaughter maps, in particular, tend to mix very well. It's also worth mentioning that the gang here can be knocked out of action, albeit only for a limited amount of time. First time it happened, it was with Caleb, so it wasn't really a surprise to see him resurrect, but when it happened with Wang and Duke, that honestly surprised me a little. Either way, a lot of fun, even more so if you enjoy seeing Archviles getting bullied. Anyway, here's the point of the video where I have to disclose that this is in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Girls Frontline. I mean, when you think about it, why would they want to sponsor this? Because it kind of runs contrary to the entire operation of Gacha. Why bother rolling for your favorite gun-based waifu when you can just load them into Doom and have them fight on your behalf anyway? Now, it's certainly worth mentioning, you don't have to load all of them at the same time. But hey, this is supposed to be Doom Mod Madness, not Doom Mod Reasonable. If anything, the relative firepower that you gain by spawning all of these in something like a slaughter map is honestly relatively negligible, especially in comparison to what we've just had previously with the 3D Realms gang. You can bet your bottom dollar that Duke, Wang, and Caleb are going to make a bigger dent in something like Nuts than the Girls Frontline team are ever going to do in the same amount of time. So, yeah, what can I say? As fun as it is spawning these in all at the same time, it's a relatively short-lived novelty. If you're after a more robust kind of novelty, however, then maybe the Doom Gals Helper mod might be more your speed. It's a companion mod that asks the question, what if Doom demons were cute girls in dresses and beat up other demons for you? Do you have any idea how hard it is for me to explain what I do at family gatherings? It is ridiculous. Either way, there are 4 gals in total. You can choose whichever you want to summon at any given time, thanks to certain items in the inventory, but typically first is Iris. She is a Kako, she hovers, she shoots energy, occasionally a lightning strike out of goddamn nowhere, which the first time happened scared the ever-loving crap out of me, and can also drop haste orbs, doubling not just your movement speed, but also your attack speed. Next up is Cynthia. She's an imp, she punches, kicks, and flings fireballs, and also has a heavy area of effect fire attack. Much like Iris, she can also drop a power-up orb, this one more dedicated to attack power, and going by the mod page, this is apparently thanks to her cheerleading skills. Primrose is a prim and proper demon princess. She beats the crap out of other demons. She's basically a waifu baron, and will occasionally bake you a cake. We'll freely admit though, that explosive ground pound is pretty neat. Last but certainly not least is Amaryllis the Arachnotan. She's a gamer girl with spider legs. She's got a standard machine gun attack, a bouncing plasma ball secondary, and a long-range laser strike tertiary. She has the ability to process ammo, which allows her to drop backpacks for you every now and again. And when you've dropped all 4 of these together in any given environment, they are quite the formidable force indeed. What sets this a little more apart from preceding mods in this here video is that each of the Doom Gals here have their own dedicated health pool. Once that's depleted, they aren't completely out forever, but it's a first significant timeout before they're back in action. Mercifully though, there is an on-screen element allowing you to keep track of their health, and if you do feel like helping them out by replenishing it, you can throw hoagies at them. And yeah, that'll replenish their health. I was actually wondering what would happen if you threw hoagies at regular demons. Turns out you can straight up kill a demon if you throw enough hoagies at its head. Who knew? For those of you out there that want to feel even more embarrassed when a loved one or family member walk in the room and ask you what the ever-loving heck are you playing, there is Tailor Girl Followers. This is actually based on a gameplay mod, simply known as Tailor Girl, where you play as a character that can change up their abilities and firepower depending on what clothes they wear. Naturally, some of this clothing can be somewhat revealing, or at the very least, figure-hugging. As it happens, this concept translates quite smoothly, in fact, into a follower mod, whereas instead of having to find the clothing littered around the level, you can just simply press a button and your follower character will transition between whatever available outfits they have. There's 3 followers in total available as part of this mod. Each can be loaded independently, so if you'd rather just have one, you can do so, and if you fancy bringing the whole squad along to play dress up, then that is also a possibility. As far as I can gather, there's not too much strategy involved in whatever outfit you pick per character. Either way, it's pretty fun to see their various abilities popping off in the moment, as well as their voice lines for their various distinct personalities. For anyone thinking of playing this in the vicinity of polite company, I will warn you, the nudity does go further than what's displayed here, and for anyone that wants to know how far, well, when any of your respective followers here get KO'd, let's just say they end up in a less than dignified state. The folks over on Patreon will know what I'm on about, because this bit isn't censored for them. Before I truly get into this last one, I feel like I'll need to give a little bit of context. Touhou, for the uninitiated, is a esteemed bullet hell shoot-'em-up series originating in 1997, spanning 19 mainline games and 13 spin-offs in the meantime. It also holds to its name a dedicated Doom mod by the name of Touhou Doom, which, as the name implies, teleports Doom Guy into the magical realm of Gensokyo, but rather than having to throw down against this roster of boss enemies with screen-filling projectile attacks, what if you could bring them with you? Enter Touhou Allies. Long story short, it gives you access to a beacon, you plant it, it summons a random Touhou character to assist you. But in all honesty, I never use this on default, and thankfully there's a few options here that allow you to tweak what you can do with it. I mean, let's be real here. Why settle for the default when you can max it out completely and have 16 beacons in your inventory? Naturally, the result is chaos. And obviously, the only venue for such chaos is slaughter maps. If anything, I find this tremendously cathartic. Bring it along to any slaughter map that's been troubling you, just dump the whole lot in the middle of it, and watch the fireworks pop off. And trust me when I say, there is a variety of fireworks to enjoy across the myriad characters that you can summon here. Naturally, me being me, I am a fan of the one that occasionally just straight up drops a magical nuke. And yes, of course I did see how far I could get by deploying everything at the same time, while playing nuts. Sure, it may sound like overkill, but lest I remind you, this is Doom Mod Madness, not Doom Mod Reasonable. That said, I do prefer to keep these mortal. There is a chance that they can kick the bucket during the battle, and that does add at least a little bit of an element of risk. And no, unlike the other mods featured during the course of this video, these characters do not respawn after a set time period. Once they're gone, they're gone. And at the very least, you're gonna have to complete the map before you can replenish your beacons. Or not. There's an option for that too. You can just make it so you've only got that maximum number for the entirety of whatever run you're embarking on. That's the thing I like about this. There's a surprising degree of customization to tailor it for your own particular Touhou experience. And really, the whole thing speaks to the core of what I truly enjoy about Doom modding, and that is, the more ridiculous, the better. But for now, I feel it's time to bring this edition of Doom Mod Madness to a close. I hope you've enjoyed this journey, this showcase of varied companion mods that have brought me great joy recently, and I hope they do the same for you. If you want to know where to download them, there is a pastebin link in the description below detailing not just the companion mods themselves, but also the varied maps and map sets that I was using during the course of this video. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed the show. Feel free to leave a like, genuinely helps out, and while you're at it, why not let me know what your favorite companion mods are? I know I've certainly missed out on a few, but hey, that hopefully gives me space to check out even more in the near future. Until next time, this has been Mr. Icarus. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.